Hey guys, what's up? Today I'm going to be doing a video on how to care and feed a leopard gecko. Most of you have no idea that I actually own one. It's mostly my dad's, but I do take care of it a lot, so I have a lot of knowledge about these guys. I've also fostered a few of them in my times. Also, I want to thank all of you for getting me so many views today. I reached over 800 views in one day today, and you're helping me out a lot. Thanks guys, keep up the support, and let's get on with the video. So for feeding these guys, you could feed them a wide range. Okay, for the cage requirements for leopard geckos, you're going to want a nice basking spot. I use a little rock here, and you're going to want a relatively small water dish you're going to replenish every maybe 2 days. They're going to go in it a little because all reptiles drink through their skin, but he or she will mainly drink from it instead of going in it. At least that's what I've noticed. For substrate, nothing too big. If they're a baby, you do not want to go with sand. Mine isn't, but I still have him on this little repti carpet you could buy at most pet stores. You don't want to start them off on sand because they can ingest sand while they're eating, and that is very good for the very bad for the digestive system of these guys when they are a little baby. It's important to keep these guys in around 10 to 20 gallons. Right now, this is not his actual enclosure. I want to emphasize this. This is a little care enclosure that my dad made up for me when he's away so that I don't have to water all the plants in his real enclosure. We have about a 25 gallon. That's a little big for these guys, but I think it's nice. And also, we don't have all the sticks and hides that would be necessary for this guy. Okay, these guys are generally pretty good eaters. For feeding these guys, you could feed them waxworms, superworms, crickets, pretty much anything along that line. I feed him a lot of cockroaches. It seems like he likes crickets a little more, but cockroaches are just easier for me in this point. So, one thing you're going to have to remember, these guys do not need veggies. That is a very big upside of getting one of these guys as a pet. You want to feed them about one every 12 hours, a little portion, maybe six of whatever you're feeding them every 12 hours is what I like to do. I do it every day sometimes, but a lot of times I space him out around 12 hours just to make sure he's not getting too hungry. The availability of these geckos are very common. You could get them at any reptile shows or any pet stores, even Petco. If you really want a specific breed, then I recommend getting it online from a place like Underground Reptiles or Backwater Reptiles. We got him from Backwater Reptiles. We're very happy with what we got. We love him so much. They are very available everywhere. They're a very common first pet, and you will be able to find a lot of information about them and how to care for them. As I said earlier, the best way to heat their tank is by using an under-tank heating pad or tape. These are available at almost every pet store, and they could also be bought online. This allows for a temperature variation that your lizard needs. Make sure that you have it on a timer of the heater. You don't want them to always be extremely hot. Make sure you have a cool side and a warm side, as with any reptile. For this guy, I use an overhead light. Lately, I'm kind of upset about this, and I know it's not the best for him. I'm really going to get a heating pad, but for now, that's what I have him on. For their size, hatchlings measure from 3 to 4 inches. Adult females are typically 7 to 8 inches, and males can be up to 8 to 10 inches. That is a pretty big gecko. So if you're looking for a smaller gecko, I recommend getting maybe let's see here. Cave geckos are really good for small geckos. Day geckos, although you cannot handle them a lot, which we're going to get into in a second, they can also get up to a foot if you have a really big male. Okay, so these guys do drop their tails, unfortunately. They'll grow back as a stub, which will prevent them from having full sheds. They'll most likely shed their tail and then their head in their shedding process, and then their body, which is what I've noticed, at least with him. When I had my old gecko, I got very scared when he dropped his tail, but it's very normal, just as with crested geckos. You don't want it to happen, but it does end up happening, and it's not that much to worry about. If you handle them a lot, I really don't recommend handling them that much. I mean, they're wild animals, but that might be a lot to ask for a very dedicated pet owner. So just handle them a little lower than 15 15 minutes a day when you're trying to train them to like being handled. And then after that, cool down for a little bit. And then after that, maybe handle them for 10 minutes a day. That's just my recommendation. I don't handle this guy that much. He doesn't like to be handled. You really never know what you're going to get unless you handle them beforehand, before you buy them. But that's at least what I've observed with this one. So that's about it for these guys. I really love them. I definitely recommend them as a beginner pet. And they're just an all-around great lizard. And I love this guy so much. I definitely recommend getting one if you're looking into getting a first pet.